And with all of our enchantments done from the last episode, it's time to put them to good use. And good use is exactly what I have planned. We now have awesome enchantments like Unbreaking 3 to make our tools last a lot longer, Efficiency 5 so they work a lot faster, Fortune 3 to get most of the ores that we want to get, Silk Touch so we can get an even better variety of blocks when we go and do our mining. Oh, and don't forget Fire Protection for our armor. That way if we fall in lava or something, we don't die. We'll be okay. What are we going to be using all of this for though? Well, today we learn about branch mining. This is a method to find like specific ores that you want to find rather than just going through a cave. You don't have to wait for a cave to be able to do branch mining. You can do it literally anywhere. And branch mining has been around for quite a long time now, but in 1.18, it's completely different. If you played in 1.17 or earlier, you would know that branch mining was almost always done at Y level 11, and you could find pretty much the highest value of all of the ores at that one level, or at least enough of them to make it to where that was the only place actually worth mining at. And I've actually done a lot of research on this, having one of my admins and another one of my community members run programs analyzing chunks and worlds to see where ores have been like the most abundant, and comparing that to the official Mojang ore chart to find all the best levels to mine for each ore individually, so we know exactly what is the best area to place our branches at. But also, I've put together places to mine to get groups of a few of these different ores too. That way you don't have to have as many different levels to get a lot of different good, amazing ores. But before we do any of that, we need a good place to actually do it all. Out that way is like our main cave area that we've come out of. And I was looking for a location in this direction so we mine away from where Blue Jay may be doing his branch mining later on. And we do it out here in our direction and we won't have to worry about crossing paths. And I came all the way out to this wall here and I saw this crack in it. And I thought, well, why not use the actual cave to set up as our base location? And I've even gone through and kind of like marked out, this is the area that I'm going to actually go into. This is the direction that we're going in. And we've actually already been here before too, because we have a zombie spawner right here, which maybe we'll incorporate in some way to make our like caving adventures a lot more, I don't know, I guess efficient in a way. So we're not going to do anything with him quite yet, but we will pretty soon. But what we need to do is we actually need a good base of operations, right? We need a place where we can kind of like set up our resources and unload all of our like things that we get while we're caving and travel up and down to different levels and all that sort of thing. So I think I'm going to use this area. I don't know if I'm just going to carve like little bits and places into it or if I'm going to reshape this place yet. So I need to do a little bit of thinking and I'll show you some of the things that you're going to want to have in your base of operations so that way you can get to mining efficiently as well. Now, one of the main things that I want to set up is an area to have all of our things stored. And we're not going to do any sort of like super fancy automatic storage quite yet. We'll be doing those later in game, and maybe we'll even convert this one later in the game too. But for now, we do need an area to actually put the things that we find. So I think it would be good to have an area for each of the ore types. There are 8 different types of ore, and we'll set them up maybe on this wall, maybe on this wall. On one of these 2 walls, we'll set that up. And on the other wall, we'll put a area for blocks that we get. So things like deep slate and stone and granite and diorite and like all of the different types of blocks that we're just going to get as we go through. That way we have a good place to store them and keep them as well. So I believe what we'll do is we'll just carve little sections out of the wall and then just have some areas stacked up here. And here it is. It's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. Again, like I don't have access to a lot of the materials I plan on using in like the main portion of the base. So we stuck with like, I got some dark oak down because again, it's a very saturated wood. We're probably going to have to go on like a material hunt whenever we do finally get to the nether just to get some of the things that we're going to need. And we got some pillars here. We got some storage set up. And I think everything's laid out pretty good. I like the look of it. It's pretty neat. It's pretty nice. We got some detail in, just some, you know, spotted like wood and stuff like that. So I'm happy with it. And I've even started our ladder going down and up. And here comes the fun part. And we're going to start out by going over the individual ores and what the best level is to mine for them. Now I'm going to, we're a little cramped in here. I'm going to skip coal and I'm going to skip emerald because for them, It's really just the higher you go, the better. I am going to touch on them a little bit later though, because we will be doing some combined branch mines and I have calculated in for them within that. So right now we're at the level that we would be mining for copper. And I think what I want to do before we actually start our branch mine is I would like to get things set up and organized in here a little bit better. That way I have a little bit more room and I'm not literally just making a 2x1 hole. So let me get myself just a little bit of space to work, make the place look decent, and then we'll be on our way. And I've played around with the area a little bit, and I really like what we have here. It kind of brings that we're living down where the deep slate is feel, and like the added like available materials from there, but combines it with we've dug out this area to do some mining, right? So we've like got our structured like entrances to our branches that we're gonna be talking about here in a moment. Also, we have one to our like ladder entrance here, which will make it a little bit easier to kind of tell like, oh, okay, this is the copper floor, because as I'm coming up here, I see that there's copper here. And yeah, just makes me feel good about the area. I like it. And maybe I do more with it later. I don't know. I might leave it like this. Usually once I get into late game, I don't do a whole lot of branch mining and that sort of thing anyways, but we'll have it here to use and it'll look good in the process. But now we need to talk about branch mining. Okay, so again, we are doing copper. We're on Y level 49, which means we're standing on block number 48. That's 48 that I'm punching right there. And based on comparing all the data that I found, 48 looked like the best location to find copper, which means that we'll see the copper down below us and then we'll still see it around us and we can kind of dig up, down, all around and find exactly what we're looking for. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do a branch mine, and a branch is simply just mining in a straight line from one location, and we can branch out in each direction. We can go as far or as short, either way as we would like to go. It's really whatever you feel like doing, and that's really all there is to it. When you make a branch, you just kind of go in a straight line, you keep going, and then every once in a while you're gonna have to break out a torch, which I'm out of right now. Hopefully we hit some coal soon. And then you just kind of torch things up as you go. And then you find ores like this. Like we've already found copper here, which means our plan, our strategy is working. Now, when you find those ores, you can do one of two things if you have the proper tools. And if you're keeping up with me in this series, you should have the proper tools by now. And that is you can either use your fortune pickaxe to break it and then get the actual ore itself out of it, or you can use silk touch and get the ore block instead. Some people like to get the ore block. Some people like to get the actual raw ore itself. That part's kind of up to you and whatever your preference is. I don't like the idea of mining things twice. So personally, I'm usually just going to fortune it right away and get it. And then also if you keep a crafting table on you, and as you go and you fill your inventory, you just pop over to here and you can combine those raw copper nuggets into raw copper blocks. And then that will save you inventory as you go. Also, I didn't do this yet. We need to put a chest here. And I guess before we move on, I think another thing you should know about are poke holes. Poke holes are really important as well. Poke holes are a strategy you can do too when branch mining, which means not only do you mine in a straight line, but you also every so often, about every 3 blocks or so, you do this. You poke in and you look and see if there's any ores there. You poke in and you see if there's any ores there. Right? And you keep doing that. Now, usually people are only going to do this when like searching for diamonds because it's a little bit more profitable when you do that. But that is a strategy you can use every so often just to make the most out of the space that you're using when you're going down a branch. Also, there are ways, I think it's like you have to like put like a hole down in the ground and then you get in water and you like swim and then you can get down like in like a laying down position and then go down through here and actually like mine up in water the blocks and then have a 1 wide hole. Technically that does expose the most amount of ores per like mining that you do, but I don't really care to do that. It's a little bit too much trouble for me, so I don't do that strategy. You can if you like to, but I'm not doing the one tall strategy. I'm doing the simple 2 tall 2x1 tunnel. And then one final thing I'd like to discover is how far apart we should put these branches, because one thing I am not totally sure about myself is that they change the size of the ore clusters. And a cluster means like how much can be grouped together at a time. What's the widest that you can have a vein go? Like how wide is it? Can they get 4 wide? Can they get 5 wide? Are they only 3 wide at the max? Because that's going to kind of determine how far apart you make your branches. So I'm going to go down these branches and see how big these ore, not veins, I want to say veins, they're not really veins, they're like globs, these ore globs are. And then I'll let you know for copper how far apart you should make your little branches. And eventually, while you are digging your tunnels here, your branches, you're going to run into little cave systems, and it's up to you to decide what it is you want to do with these. Some people like to explore the whole thing out. Some people don't touch it at all. Me, I'll usually just like kind of look like at the entrance area, grab like a few ores that I can kind of see without going too far. But I'm not here to cave. I'm here to branch mine. So we'll take advantage of the super easy stuff to get in the cave, and then we'll move on so that way I don't get lost, like, and then try to find my branch again, and then I can't find it, and that would be ultra annoying. So we're just gonna grab these little bits right here. And then just to keep ourselves organized and on path, and to keep mobs from maybe just like jumping in here and trying to like make our little pathway here not safe anymore, we'll go ahead and we'll just kind of block this up like so. And then I'll probably even here, we'll block off the top part too. And we want to stay on the same Y level, so we'll make sure we put the floor down, and we'll continue on. And we have found a big surprise, and I actually didn't expect to see this, because you usually see these, I think, just a little bit further down, but they can't appear up this high. And that is, we actually found a copper ore block. I'm sorry, a raw copper block here in the ground. And I'd seen some copper mixed into this granite here. And the way that you can tell that this is a copper vein, yes, copper veins and iron veins are something new in Minecraft, is that you have this kind of like spotted, like streaky cobble or granite here. Usually when you find patches of like a particular type of ore, like granite or andesite or diorite, you see it like this. It's all grouped together. So if you find granite and it's more streaky, it's got stone and stuff mixed in or whatever, and especially when you find the copper mixed into it, you know that you found yourself a vein. And veins are by far the best way to profit from that particular material type. So while right now, I'm not going to go through and dig this whole thing out, we will definitely be back up here at some point. But I'll show you how to dig one out now. And it's actually quite simple. You just follow the granite, right? So what we can do is we can follow this granite through just like this, and it will continue on almost indefinitely. It can feel like you'll probably never fully, well, I say you'll probably never fully dig one of these out. And in saying that, somebody's going to dig one of these all the way out, but they are massive. So I know now if I ever just need a lot of copper, I can just simply come here and just wildly swing my pickaxe around and then just like follow the granite to profit. So this will be great, because if I do plan on using a lot of copper, I probably don't even need to branch mine, although branch mining is a little bit easier, right? Because like I'm going to follow this thing up and down and all around, and it gets a little messy, it gets a little disorganized, but at the same time, you know that as you keep digging, you're just always going to find more and more and more copper. But now I think I am ready to let you guys know what I have found and determined is the best spacing for these branches. And for copper, the optimum distance to space these branches apart. Wow. Prowl, what did you do here, Prowl? Oh my gosh. Okay. No, Prowl, that's not right either. What are you doing? There we go. The optimum distance to spread them apart is 4 blocks. And let me explain why I think 4 blocks is the best. Because these blobs of copper, you can find in batches of up to 3 wide, meaning they will span 3 blocks across. So I'll use these copper blocks as a kind of example. Let's say I'm digging down through here and I see copper right here, right? So that's going to be block 1. This will be block 2. And that'll be block 3. They can spawn in 3 blocks wide. That means that if I'm down this tunnel, I'm still seeing all fresh blocks, right? So I have a better chance of finding new copper. Whereas if this tunnel was only separated by 3 blocks, like a lot of people tend to do, and I had a 3 block deep vein right there, or not vein, I guess is the wrong word to use nowadays, but a 3 block wide blob there, and I was 1, 2, 3 blocks separated between. As I'm digging down here, I'm digging into area that's already been explored. So this is not a new block, and it's really hurting my efficiency for how like efficient my actual mining process is. So just to keep things as efficient as possible, if we set them out by 4 blocks wide, we're going to make sure that we're uncovering the most new blocks possible as we go. Now let's go through all of the other ores just to kind of let you know what the Y levels are and what kind of distance you want to be at between your branches. I keep saying veins for some reason, between your branches. And now here we are at Y level 15, because if you're looking for this stuff, if you're looking for iron, Y level 15 is the place to do it. And the charts and graphs and things that I've looked at, this is going to be the best place that you can find iron. Now, unfortunately, what you can't find here, because we talked about this just a moment ago in one of the last clips, was you're not going to find iron veins at this level. They actually generate a little bit lower, like down in the deep slate area down there. So unless like some kind of crazy thing happens, I don't think we'll run across any of those. But what we should be able to do is, again, let's break out our, I would get some cobblestone, I think. So let's break out our fortune pickaxe. Let's just kind of dig through here, kind of like we were doing before. We're going to go in a straight line. And then we're going to be looking for and testing a few different things here too. Just like we did before, I want to find some of these blobs of iron. That way we can determine how far apart is the optimal distance apart to put our mines. I didn't even think about this. I already did it the same as we did copper, where they're 4 blocks apart. Because I think iron will generally generate in like a three block wide blob. So that should be correct. But I guess we'll see as we go down through here. So let's do a little bit of mining here and see what we can find for iron, and just kind of do a little bit of experimenting and see if we can't come across a few blobs of it. Ooh, we found some gold here. We'll get that out. Come across a few blobs of it so we can see how wide of like a path that it generates in. And on the rare occasion, even at this level, this high up in the world, this is about as high as you can possibly find diamonds. We got lucky. We found some here, so that's awesome. So you can find some diamonds even at this level if you're just mining for iron. I wouldn't expect to see them too often. And we're going to go over a little bit later where you should be mining for diamonds. But that was a nice little surprise. Now, I have determined that doing the 4 block gap is good for iron, and I've actually found it's pretty much good for everything. I guess technically if you were branch mining for coal, you would maybe be able to do wider, but nobody branch mines for coal. Let's be serious. So for all of our mines from here on out, we're going to go with the 4 like gap technique. So you'll kind of do the tunnel, then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then your next tunnel, right? And I found that you get an okay amount of iron, but I would definitely recommend that whenever you pop yourself into a cave when you're doing a branch mine for iron, I would definitely explore out that cave, at least while you're still in those like better, higher iron ranges, just to get yourself a little bit more iron. And then really this is just to supplement you until you get an iron farm a little bit later in the game anyways. Let's move down to our next level. Now, our next level is for Lapis, and I'm sure a lot of you probably won't be coming to the Lapis level because you can find enough of it just mining in like other general areas anyways. And as you can see, I haven't even started to mine down here to get the Lapis because I'm not really too interested in getting like Lapis either. But if you did want to, and there may be some instances where you do want to, right? This is a really nice looking block. Maybe you'd want to get a lot of that block. So branch mining down here may actually be beneficial to you if that's the case. In that case, you want to come down to Y-5 and start your branches down here because it is going to be the best location for you to find the most amount of Lapis. Also, keep in mind that Lapis isn't supposed to show as often on like being exposed to air, meaning that if you find a cave, you're probably not going to want to go down it if you're looking for Lapis. Doing the branch mine is going to be the best method. And then next we have ourselves gold. Gold can be a valuable resource early on, and maybe you'll set up a farm like a a gold farm later on to get it automatically. But for now, if you need to get a decent amount of it to trade with piglins or to use for powered rails, then you want to come down to Y level -18. -18 is going to be your branch mining area for gold to get a pretty decent amount of it in a pretty decent amount of time. So I would recommend coming down here, 4 block wide gap again, and get your branches going, people. Now we're coming to the one that everybody's going to care the most about, and that is diamonds and redstone, which I'm going to get myself enough diamonds to put diamond blocks up here. You guys will probably think I'm crazy, but that's what I'm going to do, and to put them here. I've been kind of labeling everything, so to speak. And what you're going to want to do for diamonds and redstone, they're both the same, so they're going to be together, is you want to be at -54. Technically speaking, -55 is the optimal level, but you can run into lava at the level that you're searching on if you're on Y level -55, because lava will fill in any air gaps that it finds at Y level -64 and or -54 and below. And when you're down here mining, you're definitely going to want to make sure you have a water bucket, because we're going to go through and I might actually do some branch mining for some diamonds, because I would like to see how long it takes me to get enough to fill this in up here and down there. And I'll show you why you need this water bucket, because it's super important. It may be the most important thing that you have with you on this trip outside of your fortune pickaxe. And this is awesome. While mining down here, this looks like an iron vein. You know how you could tell? We have tough here, we have iron here, and it's scattered around. And finding one of these is awesome. I really, really wanted to find one of these, because we need a decent amount of iron early on before we make our iron farm. And this is going to be your best way to get iron this early. Not doing the branch mining, not even caving. You want to find one of these, because now what I can do is I can follow this thing wherever it ends up going, and I can just get a whole ton of iron that I'm accidentally grabbing with my silk touch pickaxe, which I don't normally like to do. I like to use my regular pickaxe. And I don't think I'm going to go through and mine the whole thing out today, or right now, right this moment. Maybe I'll do that on stream. That'll be really fun to do on stream. But we'll definitely be like searching this thing out more and going for like following it around to see how much iron we can get. But I'm still on the hunt for diamonds, and I'm wondering if I'm not going to see a lot of them, because these chunks that I'm in right now, these were loaded prior to one of the latest hot fixes that got updated into the game that fixed generation. You guys may remember from an earlier episode, I was talking about how diamonds were showing like in the caves a lot more than they were supposed to, because the developers forgot to put the tag on for reduced air exposure. What I'm not sure of is, does that have the effect of the ones that were not, like these areas that are not exposed to air when I'm digging? Is it actually less likely that I find diamonds here? So I haven't seen any yet. I haven't really gone too far, so we're gonna keep going. Eventually we'll hit new chunks, because we haven't really explored that far into the world. At least I've tried not to. And we'll see if hopefully we find some diamonds here. And here is the reason that we keep water on us. Now, it didn't end up being in our path, but you can find lava at this level when you're on your path. And like you guys have seen before, take your bucket, put it down, lava's gone. And we found some, oh, look, there's just a lot of it through here. Well, not a lot of it, but there is some. And I'm just wondering if we see any exposed diamonds, because I've gone for a ways now. We have not run across any diamonds yet at all. Our luck has been absolutely terrible. And just to find diamonds, since I'm still in chunks that I've already had loaded, I followed a cave and I have finally found some kind of diamonds, although they're not via the method that I wanted to get them. They are diamonds nonetheless. So we will take them, and I will see if I can find any more exposed through here. Just know that this is only because this area was loaded when 1.18 first came out. There was a bug that made it so diamonds would only generate, I guess, only generate whenever they were exposed to the air, and that was the opposite of what they were supposed to do. They're supposed to not generate exposed to air, and instead always be in areas that are behind like other blocks. This is like a cool little like tight cave here. I come to you with breaking news. We finally found diamonds in the branch mine. I hope that means that from here on out, like maybe we're just in unloaded chunks that we're loading for the first time. I don't know for sure. Ooh, that's a good little melt. I'll go ahead and snag these. I'll take these. Don't mind if I do. And let's see if we can keep going a little bit further. What? Can I please? Thank you. Let's see if we can keep going a little bit further, get a few more diamonds to take back home. And I don't know that we'll be making all of our diamond blocks today, but that's what I would like to do. Well, we have ourselves 8 diamond blocks so far, so that's a start. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna put those up. And then I believe for everywhere else for now, we'll just go ahead and we'll fill in with some of these guys. We'll put some redstone blocks down and whoops, and then we'll switch them over once we get more diamonds, which I am definitely dedicated to doing at this point. I absolutely want to get enough diamonds to do all this. Okay, I'm going to show you 2 last locations here, and these are going to be some combined locations. This one right here at Y level 55 is probably going to be about your best spot to get yourself copper, emeralds, and coal. So if you find yourself in a mountain area and you want to dig underground and get as much of those 3 things combined as possible, this is going to be your area to do your branch mine. Now, I don't really plan on doing this, so while I did make the floor, we're running out of time to get this episode out to you guys, so I'm not going to make this particular floor today. And I do have one other one to show you too, which is going to be right here at Y level 7. This one's probably going to be a pretty good one. I don't know if I'll set it up or not. I might, but this is to get yourself iron, gold, and lapis. So if you just want to get a good combination of those 3 ores together, come to Y level 7 and make your branch mine here. And that's it. We have our branch mine area all set up and ready to go. It's super awesome, and I plan on using it a lot. So I'm going to probably go make myself some new pickaxes because these ones are getting a little low. And I'll probably be doing some streams, maybe even one tonight. Tonight is Saturday. I might do a stream tonight. You guys probably won't have seen this video yet unless I might get this out today. So if I get this out today, if it's still Saturday for you when you watch this, come watch stream tonight. If not, catch me next time because we are going to do some branch mining. I want to get myself some more diamonds and some more other things, and I'm kind of liking collecting so much of this not the stone, of the deep slate, because we're going to end up using quite a lot of it through a lot of our builds. So doing some branch mining is helping me get that too. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you click on that like button. It helps the video get discovered by a lot more people. I want to see everybody click the like button right now. Do it. Like, click the like button. And if you're not subscribed to the channel already, make sure you do that as well. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.